and welcome back, and today I have for you a fantasy cast video. Now, the challenge has given us rivals, they've given us exes, they've given us family members paired up together, then split, then paired back up. But today I have something different that the challenge has not given us ever, and that is best friends or alliance members from previous seasons paired up with one another. And I'm deeming this challenge allies. Now, on last season of the challenge, we saw a beautiful friendship hit its peak last season with Corey and Nelson. And I thought, why not, instead of putting all the drama within the teams, let's make the teams work together as hard as they can for one another and let the drama happen outside of the group in general. So for this cast list, I have 7 veteran men teams, 7 veteran women teams, and 4 rookie teams, but I have 9 rookies overall in this cast list. I'll go through it all. I'll go through the format and everything else. But let's start off where this challenge is taking place, and we're going all the way to New Zealand in a mansion, a very nice mansion, luxurious mansion. We're going to New Zealand because that is the place of one of the biggest and best friendships we've ever seen on the cinema screens, and that is from Lord of the Rings. So we're gonna have that as the backdrop. So let's get started off, starting off with all the men veterans teams, and we're gonna start off with one of the longest running friendships slash alliances in the challenge game thus far right now, and that is Bananas and Leroy. They've pretty much been working together since Leroy's rookie season in Rivals. They could elevate each other's games to get that win and Leroy's first win, but there's a huge target on Banana's back, especially getting his 7th win, but they could really elevate each other's gameplays and get very, very far within that season. The next friendship slash team we have is Theo and Bear. They've been pretty close with one another ever since their rookie seasons in War of the Worlds 1. They've worked with each other from that season and War of the Worlds 2. They've been seen hanging out outside of the challenge house. Theo is such a strong competitor overall. Let's elevate Bear's game with Theo as his partner. Now, the next one we have is Corey and Nelson. Of course, we've seen their rocky friendship happening throughout the seasons of the challenge, and then we saw it hit a major peak in Total Madness when Nelson threw himself into the elimination, or told the tribunal to vote him into the elimination right before the finals instead of his pal Corey. But let's see them get paired up together, working hard for one another to get that grand prize money and get that challenge champion title for one another. The next one we have is a friendship that started outside of the challenge house, and that is Joss and Rogan, or Jogan as they're known. The next one we have is CT and Tony, the dad bod team happening. We saw them on Champs vs. Stars, which they won together as a duo. Let's see how this duo works together inside the main season. Now, I know this is a bit of wish casting because Tony pretty much said he's done with the challenge for the time being. Next one we have is Wes and Nehemiah. Now, there was a photo posted on Instagram of the 4 men of Hunter, Nelson, Nehemiah, and Wes all working out together. Let me tell you right now, I would like to see Nehemiah back on a challenge season. So if Wes and Nehemiah are hanging out outside of the challenge house, working out together, staying in peak physical condition, and let's see what this duo can do in the house. And the final men's team I have is Paulie and Turbo. They worked together in War of the Worlds 1 and War of the Worlds 2 for as long as they were on the season together. To me, I don't know how many friends Paulie actually has inside the challenge house, but I know he worked alongside Turbo those 2 seasons, and I think that Turbo would definitely want to work with Paulie. Now, let's move on to the 7 women veterans team, and the first one we're going to be talking about is 2 of the 3 in the Holy Trinity, and that is Jenna and Kayla. We saw them both leave on the same time in the same day in Total Madness. Now that they're both in better spots in their relationships, can they be paired up with one another and work to get farther than they did in Total Madness? We'll have to wait and see. The next one we have is Cam and Kara. They worked together in War of the Worlds 2. They made it to the finals with one another. And let me tell you right now, I think this is one of the strongest teams I have paired up overall. The next one I have is another wish casting for this challenge cast list, and that is Ashley and Amanda. Now, two of the Lavender ladies, and thinking of the two Lavender ladies, I think this one is a very strong bond that they have with one another. They've made it very, very far with one another in Invasion of the Champs, almost making it to the finals together, and they worked together on Final Reckoning, which led to Amanda and Zach throwing themselves into that elimination. When it came down to either throwing in Bananas and Tony or Hunter and Ashley, Amanda and Zach had to be thrown into the elimination because they couldn't come up with a definitive answer. Next, we have a Big Brother alliance or bond that we saw in Final Reckoning, and that was Devon and Natalie Negrotti. Bringing back Natalie into the challenge fold, bringing back Devon into the challenge fold. We saw what happened in Final Reckoning, where Devon and Josiah decided to have the back of Paulie and Natalie to play in the redemption games, that even if they lost, they wouldn't be purged out of the game. They would just go back to the redemption house, and we saw that happen a couple of times. Natalie and Devon were both on the same Big Brother seasons. Let's see them paired up. Let's see them back on the challenge. I would love to see what they can do as a team, as a duo. The next one we have up is Marie and Nani. Now, they both have been friends within the challenge seasons and outside of the challenge seasons. They both live in Miami. They're both seen on social media, hanging out a lot with one another, just chilling out, drinking wine, doing their thing. Next one we have is Jenny and Tori. We saw them linked up, working together very closely with one another in War of the Worlds 2. We didn't see really anything of Jenny and Tori's friendship or relationship happening really in Total Madness, but we didn't see a whole lot of Jenny unless it had something to do with Corey, and Tori was too busy worrying about going in to get her red skull. And the final veterans women's team that I have is one veteran coming in and one rookie, and that is Bailey and Haley. They were working very closely with one another in the same alliance in the Hive in Big Brother 20. Let's have Haley come into the challenge realm, get her feet wet in challenge allies, maybe get very far, and then we could have another challenge exes season where then she can be paired up with Fessy. And now let's go into the rookies teams, and the rookie teams I have is Nerys and Deandra from Are You the One Season 6 and Ex on the Beach US Season 2. Now, they weren't the best of friends on Are You the One, but we saw their friendship were really strong and they were really close with one another on Ex on the Beach Season 2. Let's bring them in. They also have some crossover with the challenge universe, with Nelson, with Jay. Next one I have is Yaman and Weston from Love Island US. That's a CBS property. Let's bring them in. They were very close friends on that one. Let's see what they can do inside the house. Next one I have is Sam and Niall from Ex on the Beach Peak of Love. They both came in. Also, they were on the same season of Love Island. They just did not overlap at all on Love Island. Now, they both came in as exes of Georgia Steele. Let's bring them into this rookie season. Also, Kayla and Sam are dating each other right now. They would be on the same season as well, so that would be fun to watch. And the final rookie team I have is Michelle Fitzgerald and Natalie Anderson from Survivor Winners at War. We saw Natalie come back from Redemption Island or Exile Island. They gravitated towards one another and they were able to make it far, working together to the final tribal council, and they got second and third place respectively in that season. Now let's move on to the format of the Challenge Allies season. Now I'm going back to when we had 12 episode seasons. That's 10 regular season episodes. That's going to be a 2-part final, and then if you want to make a 2-part reunion, you can do that, but that's a total of 14 episodes, not this 18 to 20 plus episode seasons. We're not doing that. For elimination days, we're alternating between men and women. So if you take into account everything that happens, that means the top 4 men and top 4 women's teams will make it into the finals. If you win the daily challenge and it's your elimination week, you are safe from ever going into the elimination, and you have a hand in nominating somebody to go into the elimination. If it's not your elimination week and you won the daily challenge, your team will win $2,000. That's $1,000 a piece. Last place team will go directly into the elimination, of course. 3 teams will always be up for elimination. We're gonna have a house vote that will nominate somebody to possibly go into the elimination against the last place team. Then we're gonna have the top men's team from that day. We'll get to choose somebody to nominate. And then we're gonna have the top women's team of that day nominate somebody to possibly go into the elimination as well. At the elimination, the 3 teams will flip a sort of kill card to see who will go into the elimination against the last place team. That gives the possibility of, hey, we're choosing somebody to possibly go in, but there's still a possibility of randomness about who's actually going to go into the elimination. The eliminations will be randomly alternating between 4 different games, and the 4 games will be revolving around a physical attribute, endurance, strategy, or a mental game. So for the physical game, I thought we could do Last Chance, which is from Rivals 2, where it was like a hall brawl, but one person of the team was going to be offensive, trying to ring the bell, and the other player on the team would be defensively trying to get the other player from the other side to not able to ring that bell. Endurance, I thought of Inside Out from Invasion of the Champs, and kind of like Champs versus Pros. Next one for strategy, I have Not So Fast, like in Battle of the Seasons. And finally, the mental game, I thought of Puzzle Pyramid from Free Agents, except for this puzzle pyramid, there'll be 5 total puzzles. One person of the duo will be on either side, and they will be doing their own solo puzzles leading up to the top puzzle. And what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to wait for your person or your partner to make it through their puzzles before you can even start on the top puzzle, where then you're gonna have to work together to finish it out. Now for the finals, the top 4 men's teams and the top 4 women's teams make it into the finals. The total prize money in the season overall is $1 million. It's divided as such. Win the daily challenge for the non-elimination days, that's $20,000 right off the table, add that $1 million. 4th place team will get their bank accounts. So if they won any daily challenges, they'll just go home with whatever is in their team bank account. 3rd place will win $20,000 in total. That means $5,000 per player in the men's team and the women's team that comes in 3rd place, and they get their bank account, whatever is in their bank account. 2nd place team wins a grand total of $160,000, which is $40,000 per player and their bank accounts. And the 1st place teams win $800,000, which is $200,000 per player plus the team bank account. Also, if you win an elimination, you will win what is called a life shield. I'm bringing life shields back from way back in the day, and what you can do that will save you from your next elimination day, the elimination day where you're eligible to go in. You can save yourself with the life shield, or what you can do is the next elimination day, you can save somebody who is up for elimination and save them from possibly going to elimination, which strengthens your ties with another ally group in the game of the opposite gender. So for an example, if Kara and Cam win the elimination, get the life shield, and then Paulie and Turbo are up for elimination the next men's day, they can go, no, we're going to use our life shield to save them, pull them out. Now there's a 50-50 shot of somebody possibly going into the elimination against the last place team. I think that would be a really fun twist. I don't know how much it would be used, but giving them the option at least to do it, and then if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, then at least they have the option to do it. But that is my challenge, fantasy cast, and season for Challenge Allies. What do you think about this season? Let me know that in the comment section below. Do you think this is a good idea? Is there another team that you think would do well in this season, like an alternate team like Fessy and Scotty, or something else that maybe I didn't fully look into? Let me know that in the comment section below. Which team out of the ones that I've made up would you be rooting for the most? Let me know that in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. While you're down there, hit that like and subscribe button. I'll be back really soon with more challenge content, more content in general. But until then, peace.